Good morning, friends. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Anchorage online service. We acknowledge that we are, or at least I am, standing on the land of the Indigenous people of Alaska. And so we start today with a prayer. We allow just a softening and opening as we center into this experience of sharing and learning and growing together. Gratitude for the sun and the wind and the rain. Gratitude for our ability to learn and grow and be together. Gratitude for those who've walked before us. And so it is. Amen. And so we are going to start with our call to worship song. And here come the words. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Excellent job, y'all. All right. Well, now we are going to go over to Nancy for the daily word.
Good morning, everyone. Today's daily word is joy. Joy is my constant companion. I discover reasons to feel joyful every day. Even in the most challenging circumstances, I begin by centering my awareness on the Christ, the divine presence within. I feel love and peace lift my heart, and possibilities for good fill my thoughts. I am joyous. I may experience joy as exuberance, delight, and wonder. Joy may also come quietly as the peaceful assurance of God's presence wherever I am, whatever I'm doing. My awareness of joy brings a glow to even the most ordinary day. As I engage wholeheartedly in all that is mine to do today, I share my joy with everyone. Through kind words, a sunny smile, and a warm welcome to everyone I meet. I radiate joy and bless the world with my positivity, happiness, and bliss. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118, verse 24. And once again, joy is my constant companion.
Thank you, Nancy. Okay. Whew. I just had a moment where I realized that my music that we're going to do for the, next meditation was not where it usually is because I took it over for Taizé on Thursday. Anyway, I found it. So here we are. And so now we are going to move into our meditation time. And so we'll start with our meditation song. And I just invite you to settle in, and you can sing along if you wish, or you can just settle in, let those shoulders relax. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. Peace. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. Love, I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Oh, so let's just breathe into that love, peace, joy, allowing the shoulders to relax, allowing the body to relax. Allowing any distractions from the day to be set aside. And just being present in this moment, in this breath, in this body. And letting it relax again. Allowing the spaciousness of the universal energy that is in all. Just be that safe, open place to land. And in this space of spaciousness, we rest in the silence. And yeah, just breathe. And in this spacious space, I invite you to open to that idea of appreciation. Feel in your heart that deep sense of appreciation. Maybe it's sparked by deep connection with a loved one, or the sunset on the ocean, or the feeling of your feet in the grass. Just feel that appreciation in and through your body. And allow that felt sense of appreciation to tingle through your body and move beyond your body, form into the room that you are in, beyond the room to your neighborhood. You feel that appreciation and love spread out to fill your town, your state, and so that each of us together here meditating together, appreciating together, whether we're here at this moment in time or watching later. We feel our hearts connect like a big net across the world. A net of appreciation, love, wisdom, peace, truth. So we spread that net of appreciation around the world. The intention of love and peace, wisdom, joy, abundance. Yes, we give the world a big hug. And so, as we bring our meditation time around to close, I invite you to center back into your body and your space. Noticing any tensions that may have arisen and allowing them to release. Maybe you wiggle those fingers and toes, feeling gratitude for this time of conscious connection. Gratitude for this pause in our day. So it is. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. All right. On June 28th, 1969, police in New York City raided a bar. This was a routine occurrence. What wasn't routine was that this time, the folks in the bar and in the nearby area didn't cooperate, and it became known as the Stonewall Riots or Uprising. This moment in history sparked the push for LGBTQ rights and protections in our country. And it is the reason Pride parades are in June. It all from a moment when people stood up and said no. World history is filled with uprisings, some of which have been catalysts for change, and some of which have petered out or been squashed. Today, we celebrate 127 years ago when young Mohandas Gandhi was tossed off a train in South Africa because he was riding in the first-class cabin. Why? He had a first-class ticket, but he was not white. And this started his activist life. There have been a lot of uprisings. Lately, we've seen water sovereignty and native rights in North Dakota and women's marches around the world. We've seen teenagers advocating for changes in gun laws and for environmental laws. We've seen national calls for a more just and equitable system for those experiencing poverty and or homelessness. The last few months, we've seen a growing awareness of the disparity of accessibility to health care and the inadequacies of our minimum wage structure. And now we are seeing another uprising, not a new one, but with renewed traction, the Black Lives Matter uprising. Now, science research has told us that, and this is a research by Damon Centola, PhD, and his research says that the percentage of people with a firmly strong-held belief needed to make a change in consciousness for the group is 25%. 25%. That's 25% with a deeply held belief is enough to shift the whole culture, the whole belief system. And that's exciting to me because I believe that the Black Lives Matter movement has reached that 25% of people who deeply understand and believe that what's happening in our world for the people of the African American people is not okay, is not working, which is what they're saying. So now what? Enough people have said no. This has gone far too long. And so now, as we are continuing to be a catalyst for our culture, that's what we are doing. We say, this has gone on too long. I am ready to listen. I am humbly here to learn and see where I've made mistakes and do better. And so I want to change something that I've said in the, well, I've come to see things differently. I've come to see things differently. I used to say, and I still think that it's true in many ways, that I don't want to be against anything. I've said that. We've talked about that because we don't want to usually put our energy into resisting. However, it's not completely consistent because a strong no is an important thing. And so one of the very popular books that people have been talking about right now as being one of the books that people need to read to understand what's going on in our world and how we got to where we are and have racism in our culture and how we can change that is the book How to Be an Anti-Racist. And some people say, ooh, anti something. Well, the idea is that just being non or saying, well, it's not enough. You know, if a pipe bursts outside my house, I am against that water coming into my house. I bet you are too. Your foundation is a strong no line between the experience of what's happening outside and your house. So see, we're all anti something, or we all have a strong no. Maybe you want to call it a strong no. But we can have, it's important to say so. It's important to have things that you say, no, this is not okay. And this is not, we need to stop this. So you might say, oh, well, I'm for the water staying on its side of the wall. I mean, come on. What if we can just say, I am against a system that makes people not have the experience of freedom that I have based on the color of their skin. This system doesn't work. It's not okay. Strong no. Now, you may have seen the memes on Facebook like I have that say, we're just going to take 2020 off because 2020 has been such a weird year and we're just let's unplug from this and just skip it, right? They're saying, I'm not going to have a birthday this year. I'm not going to get any older because it doesn't count. And I say, what if, because there's also a meme saying this, what if 2020 is the year that we've been waiting for? What if 2020 is the year that we shift into some new ways of being and some new consciousnesses in a world that's more just and equitable for all people? What if this is that year? And so way back at the first service of the year, I was talking about 2020 vision, and I thought it was very clever how we were talking about seeing clearly the world that we want to see and making that come forth, right? It was very clever, very cute. Okay, so here we are. Here we are, first week of June, 2020. Let's see clearly the world that we want to have come forth. We want to have come forth a world where all people actually are having an equitable and just society. And to do that, we have to see where it's not that way. Right? And so this shows up in all sorts of different things, like all those things that I listed before, all those uprisings that are happening. Anything that is not a world that works for all is something that we need to see clearer, something that we need to see what's not working and make sure it is working. If my foundation is having a problem and there's a burst water pipe outside, go back to that analogy, I need to fix something. I can't just pray it away and tend it away. So this month, June, believe it or not, it's June. This month, June, the spiritual attribute of the month is imagination, which goes really great with seeing things clearly or seeing clearer. So we can use our power of imagination. Imagination is not just something that creative people have. It is our ability to see, envision what we want to have come forth. And so here we are. Let's imagine and see what we want to have come forth. And it's not quite the Coke commercial where we all just stand around and sing, I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. It's not quite that simple, right? But I'd like to see a world where I have the privilege of walking around my neighborhood at 9:30 at night with my dog and not worrying about it. And so does anybody else. There's many people in our society who don't have that privilege. I want to live in a world where the implicit bias that all of us carry bias in our minds. We judge things before we even realize that built-in bias that we have in our brains doesn't immediately say that you're different or bad or wrong because of the color of your skin. I want to live in a world where we all have come to that place. I'm guessing, because you're here and you're still watching, that you want to live in that world too. And so it's not as simple as just saying we want to envision that world, right? So when we use our power of imagination, we envision what we want. And then we have to see where there's incongruencies. And so wherever what we want to have happen is not matching up with what is happening, then we need to take the step and move it forward, right? We need to say, oh, there's a law that's making it harder for people of color to do this thing. Then we need to change the law. Or there's a bias in our culture that's making it difficult for this to happen. Okay, we need to change that. And so there's a lot of things we can do. Last week I talked about how we need to do our own work, right? We need to learn, we need to listen, find out the things that we don't know. Unity of Linwood down in Washington is doing a open to everyone nationwide, a book study, and it's not just a book study, practicum on that book, How to Be an Anti-Racist. And I've shared that information in our Facebook stream, and I'll share it on our email list this week as well. Free book study to sign up and share and learn. Wonderful, right? Ways to learn about our history as a country and as a world, and ways to learn how to do better. That's what we can do. But we also can't just do our own work. That's part of it. But then the next step is to listen and say, hey, okay, I'm hearing people saying that this isn't working or this is what needs to change. And then you need to listen and say, oh, does that make sense to me? Can I feel that in my heart? And then you listen and you follow. Okay. To be humble enough to know that we don't know all the answers. And isn't that true about our spiritual journey, right? So back to the spiritual journey. So we use our spiritual power of imagination. We get centered, we go close, we go into prayer, we see the world that we want to create. We see the world where it does truly work for all. And then we open our eyes and see what we need to do. That's that. That's the spiritual journey. And then we come back and we get centered and we gather strength and wisdom and courage from within. And then we say, what is ours to do? And then we do it. I would like to say we could turn the switch and that this uprising will be enough to change the hearts and minds of all. And you know what? Culture shift doesn't mean that every single person is now in alignment with a new way to being, but it does mean that the majority is, and this changes happen. So isn't that great? Yes. So the changes happen. So my part, our part as spiritual people, as people on the path of being spiritual citizens as well as world citizens, is to deepen our grounding, because we know that we are all created equal, that we all are equal in our essence and our truth, that we are all made of the same God stuff. We know that's true, right? And so we just envision a world where that's outpictured in all ways. And that is our work. So there's a lot of uprisings. And I could go on about how uprisings are a natural part of the cycle. But maybe that's another day. For now, I'd like you to dig deep into that imaginal power and allow it to show you the places that are yours to do and to change and to make a difference and to change in your own heart, to learn in your own heart. Together we move forward and make a better, more just, equitable society for all. So I wanted to share with you a couple of resources, things that are happening. Once again, that class, How to Be an Anti-Racist, is happening at Unity of Lynnwood. And you can find the link on our Facebook. And like I said, I'll be sharing it in our e-news. And also tomorrow, Monday, the Poor People's Campaign, Call for Moral Revolution. They are revival, not revolution. Same. They are holding a vigil, and it's at 1 o'clock our time, and I'll be posting that link as well. I know that what we've been talking about lately on a global scale, locally, It's heavy. It's hard. It's not always easy to say, hey, I made a mistake, or the way that I've been doing things wasn't fair and I didn't know. It's hard. But we were meant for these times. We are strong. We are able to stand in that uncomfortableness. I believe that we can stand in that uncomfortableness if it means that we can ease the load of our fellow humans here on the planet. Yes? I'm assuming you said yes. Okay, great. That's the trouble with doing online church, is you can't tell if you said yes. Okay. Okay, so we are going to do the prayer protection here in a moment. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. Don't know what it was. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, of course. Zoom Fellowship. Zoom Fellowship will follow this. So I'll put the link in the comments and you can hop on and join us if you would like. It would be great to see you and chat. So let's just center in, friends. Before we say our prayer protection, you may add to the circle anyone who's on your heart today. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. Thank you for joining me, friends. Hopefully I'll see you over on the Zoom fellowship time. And if you, those of you who are consistent givers, thank you. If you're not a consistent giver and you would like to contribute, you can trot over to our website and do that there. Or if you're watching on Facebook, there's also the Facebook donate button. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Be well. Take care.